Hello, Planner fam. It has been a while. I'm so sorry for that. There's been a lot of stuff that's come up in my family life, as well as I've been working on my novel. But I'm finally getting back into filming and recording, and today we are looking at my Sterling Ink April Planner Kit. This is the Sterling Ink subscription kit for your planner. We're going to look at all of the pieces that come in this kit, and then we're going to set up my April pages. So stay tuned. It looks like our April theme is Alice in Wonderland, which makes me so happy. Each month they have a different theme. Last month for March was like planter pots and gardening and greenhouses. Month before that was pomegranates in sort of that tie-in with Persephone and love. But anyone who's been watching the channel for a while knows I am a huge Alice in Wonderland fan, so I am loving this kit. It's also going to be a great time to pull out some of my stamps. So let's take a look at what came in this month. We have our main April title page, we've got our days of the week, we've got our dates of the month. In our little envelope, we have our goodies, which are our 2 die-cut stickers. We have our April calendar sticker. We have our monthly tabs. We get 4 of those. And then a sort of extra little sticker pack and our 2 April titles. This is the medium. So there's the deluxe kit, there's the standard kit, and then there's a sort of a basic kit. This is the middle ground. This is, I think it's 28. So those are our extra little goodies. Now I use the tabs every month, and I use the monthly sort of title page every month, and of course the die cuts. Now in this little package here, this is where our main stickers are. There are these smaller pages and larger pages that come in this kit. And we're going to look at the smaller of the 2 in this package. We've got some mushrooms and a teapot, clock, a pocket watch. Here we've got some more mushrooms and that black and red diamonds. We've got some playing cards. We've got some nature scenes. There's a bunny rabbit at a hole. Tea party. We've got more of these. So those are the 4 pages there. Then we've got this large picture frame. We've got these 4 scenes. I like the way they layer them, so it's not just one thing. Then we have this page of sort of collage mushrooms paper. They always have these long strips. I love them so much. And there are 2 pages of these where it's got a few accoutrements, some mushrooms, some picture frames, and that one long thing on 2 pages. Then we have our additional dates. This is if you want to put them in your week section. If you have the undated, this fills in your monthly and your week section, as well as the days for each journal page, if that's what you're wanting to use. So it's got numbers in a variety of sizes. So those are all of our stickers for this set. I use these stickers in my common planner, which is my daily journal, as well as in my week's journal. This year I'm using this week's book for my health tracking. So when I exercise, what I eat, as well as my mental health, like how am I holding up emotionally. It's not something I used to track, but I'm finding it's really helpful to understand why I may or may not be exercising or things like that. Like I had a pretty nasty bout of depression there for a little while, and keeping track of what kind of got me in it and what, more importantly, what helped get me out. So that's what goes in this little planner, is sort of keeping track of those notes. Now we're going to set up my months page. This is my April month at a glance. I'm using this washi tape. I liked the rabbit, the little bunny rabbit for this set. And then I have my April date. I usually put it either down the side if the first is the first Monday. And if the first isn't a Monday, then I'll put it across this top bar to cover up whatever days aren't actually part of this month. And then same thing at the bottom. If that last day happens to be the 31st of this month, then I don't cover it up. But the last few days here are for the next month, so I don't mind covering it up. There's this lovely sticker that's got like a teapot that's pouring out, but what's coming out isn't tea, it's like cards, the pocket watch. And I just really liked this sticker to sort of go down the side where I may be writing notes for the month. I really liked that. Now I do have some Alice in Wonderland stamps that I want to fill the rest of this in, so it doesn't add bulk to this page, but it fills it in and makes it look a little more finished. And then we're going to my journal pages. I really like having each month divided with this whole page for the month. I like these vellum pages that they give us. I think they look really nice, but it also acts as a clear divider for the next month. So I know this is where one month stops and the next one starts. I also use the adjacent page as a place to sort of track where I'm at. Like, what have I completed so far this year that I wanted to complete? What haven't I completed? And then at the bottom half of the page, I put down 2 to 4 things that I'm wanting to focus on for this month. Things that are a priority, be it get my novel done, or I have some paperwork to complete, or there's something going on with my kids' school that needs to be addressed. Whatever the big things are for this month that are my priority. For most months this year, it's been work on writing my book, try and get more of my book done. I have completed the first draft and I'm working with an editor to clean up and work on my second draft. So that's what I've been working on this year as my big goal most months. And that's going to continue to happen until I have book 1 and 2 satisfactorily done. I really like these stickers. They have the premium matte and they have the premium gloss. These are the matte ones. They're the ones that are like washi tape stickers. When they're stuck on the page, all of the color pops. Like, it's really, really good quality stickers, but they're a little thinner than the gloss ones, so I don't feel like they add quite as much bulk. I mean, month after month, it all adds up, but on each given sticker, I don't feel like it adds as much bulk as the others. That may just be a personal headcanon thing, but that's my personal beliefs based on now 4 months with this kit. You get these tabs that have the month on them, and they're so pretty. In my common planner, I use the ones that have the graphic on them. And then in my weeks, I use the one that has no graphic. It's just the letters. For the first one, it was like a beautiful green plant. And then there was a pomegranate for February. And then for this one, for the April, there's a little pocket watch. And I thought it was so cute. I love these tabs. Really, really enjoy them. Then we go to our date pages. Now, I've also been enjoying, because I've got 3 planners going. I have my daily journal, I have my week's journal where I track my health, and then I have my 5-year journal where at the end of the week we'll sit down, go through my notes from both of these journals, figure out the things that are important that I want to remember for the next 5 years and for forever, and the things that feel like they're still important at the end of the week, rather than, oh my god, I had an argument with my teenager or whatever. I don't necessarily want to remember that for the next 5 years unless it's a pattern that I'm trying to understand. And then that's something I might want to remember for next year, so I can go, you know what, his behavior's improved, or you know what, my health has improved, and I can see that progression in my 5-year journal. Monday, Friday, and Saturdays, I usually give a full page to. Mondays are like my big day where everyone's out of the house, so I can really get some work done. So I tend to give myself those 3 days a full page, but then during the week, generally what ends up going in my common planner are things like to-do lists, get these chores done, or I have these play dates, or I have to get my kid to this program. And so I can track the things I've accomplished And so I like having these pages where if I don't necessarily have a full page of things to say for that day, I don't need to use a full page for it. And so this is where being able to give myself as much or as little space as I feel I need so that I don't have a huge space to try and fill and feel overwhelmed. Like Tuesdays and Wednesdays are days where I have to run around and do errands, and then I have like filming to do, or I, have a large chunk of writing to do, or I have to be shepherding people around. So I don't have as much to write because it's okay, I got my errands done. There's one line. How I'm feeling goes in my other book, and then this one's left void. So I'm using my notebook therapy stamps this month for these frames, and then I'm using my little wooden box of letters and numbers that I got from Amazon. Now, whether or not that was the intention for this sticker kit, it speaks to me of Alice in Wonderland, so I wanted to have that first page have a nice big stamp of Alice. Now, I did this last year with a moon stamp, and it ended up being so pale that I could write right over it, and it just had this lovely like shadow effect behind my pen. Once I stamped this down, I realized this time it stamped a lot darker, and I wasn't expecting that. So I don't know if I'll be writing over Dear Alice this month. I may just write around her and keep her nice and pristine. So my priorities for this month are really want to get the next chunk of my novel written and sent off to the editor. So I know I'm going to be spending a lot of my time writing this month. I'm making great progress. I'm really enjoying the writing process again. These stamps here, these number stamps, are from Journal Say, and they are so pretty. Unfortunately, they only do like 0 to 9, and don't really stack to do 10, 11, 12, and so on. So I use these for the beginning of the month, my 1 through 9, and then I moved to the frames from Notebook Therapy. I liked this stamp that I used for the beginning of the month because it had like a frame, like a mirror, and in Alice the Looking Glass, she walks through a mirror. These Days of the Week stamps, I also got from Amazon. It's a Bujo kit, but I've been using them in my common planner. I really like them. They feel you can get like the ones that have the full day of the week, like Wednesday, or you can get the ones that have the abbreviation of WED. And then I have my little wooden box for my numbers. And once I've kind of mapped out, because I'm doing a lot of writing this month, I'm going to have a lot of thoughts and feelings. And so I'm giving more space this month for more days of the week where I have a full page to work with. This means I'm going to use more stickers than I did last month, but the kits have more than enough stickers. Each month so far, I've had leftovers, especially the first month because I got the deluxe kit for January. So because I've had those leftovers thus far, I figured I have more than enough space if I want to give myself a full day every day this month, just so that as things are going on with plot, as I'm dealing with emotions, I can just have enough space. I like using the vellum paper that comes with it. Sometimes I'll use a large piece that covers a whole page and then write under it, and you get this lovely layered effect where there's the writing underneath that kind of shows through. But it's just, there's so much detail in this vellum, so many things that are layered on top of each other, and they're always just beautiful. Tearing off little pieces and using them as accents at different points, it looks so good, and it feels good to use it. The first month I wasn't sure what to do with it, so I still have the vellum paper from that I'm sure I will use at some point, but I've started using it every month, and it's just really lovely to work with. Now that I've got all 30 days for the month done, this is where I go through with some of these smaller stickers and try and see if any of the pages just look a little empty, and then I'll add a little bit of zhuzh to them. I'll see where I can fit these in. So these are my daily pages for April. There's my monthly page. I like the Who Are You? The stamp didn't turn out as well, but I'll outline that with a pen. I think that looks great. It's nice and full. All of the days of the month are clear and visible, but all that extra space is filled up and it's not all stickers. So that feels nice. And then we have our journals pages. This first section here for me to write the what's important. And here's a flip through of all of my daily pages. I like all these cards down the side. I think that turned out really nicely. This page with lots of green. I do like how the red now pops in every corner for this one. This little mushroom hut I actually got from Journal Say as well, but I like it and I think it fits. Yeah, I'm really happy with all of those. I think every day looks great. Now we're going to work on my currently inked. So I've been doing a breakdown of what pens I have inked, then I have a little ink splotch of each sample, and then I have a 2-page spread of what all of the ink looks like together, just so I can get an idea, do all of these ink colors go together for journal pages? So this is the week section in the Common Planner. I don't use this here, and I don't really like the layout of it here. I do like having my currently inked in my journal, like being able to see what samples of ink I have so I know what I'm working with. And I do like being able to flip back at the end of the year and seeing what inks did I use this month, what pens did I use the most this month. That feels really important. And I like being able to see the inks, how they write in a pen, but also seeing the different inks, what their properties are not in a pen. And this is a way where I can see the ink and the pen in all its different forms, all in one place. And that feels relevant to here. When I'm in my daily journal, I'm usually in my feelings for that day. And so I'm able to just like, oh, I'm so frustrated about this, or oh my God, I'm so happy about that. And it gives me that space to do that, versus in my little one where it's very much about my physical health or my mental health. And oddly enough, I don't think about those two things concurrently. When I'm in this journal, it's what's happening in my life. And when I pull out my little blue one, it's what is my personal struggle? What are my personal victories for the day? And oddly enough, those just don't inhabit the same part of my brain. So even though there's a week section in my Common Planner that would make sense to use, I don't. So I split it up where there's one section of the weeks that is for my currently inked, and then the second section of my weeks is sort of notes and planners for my social media. These two journals kind of go hand in hand. They're different sections of my brain. But it works for me. For whatever reason, having these two different journals works for me. If you want to see more of my plan with me's, I've been doing them in shorts on TikTok, and I've been slowly moving those videos over here. So in the card, top of the screen here, you can click that card and it will take you to the playlist that just has like the flip throughs of my calendars or the setups of a couple of days at a time. So feel free to click those and enjoy that content if that's something you do enjoy. I will be trying to bring more videos to you this year of a whole bunch of different types of content, and I hope that you enjoy that. All of my socials are linked in the description box below. Feel free to follow me everywhere or nowhere. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a great day, my friends. Bye!